Floyd, she said no sound again.
Yeah.
Floyd.
You're back on. So as you see, that's the Unitree. The Unitree unit is available, I think, under $20,000, if not 10 now. And of course, it's scaled for production. If you want to see that particular, the Unitree Android robot, they have one walking around Austin, Texas. with a cowboy hat. Just walking around in the
Walking
public.
around.
Just walking around. Going, howdy. Yeah. What they're doing is trying to acclimate people in society to what's coming in the future. I don't know if y'all know this, but they have automated taxis, Tesla taxis in Austin. And they initially started out $4.20 per ride. I don't know why he chose $4.20. But that has increased, I think, to like $5 and something. But that's coming. The children that are born in 2020 and on, they're going to be digital children, 100% digital. They're not going to know how to read. They're not going to know how to write. They're not going to know how to do math. They're not going to know how to cook. They're not going to know how to drive a car.
Well,
Because
they're saying
my microphone's on.
people in the chat are saying.
Pardon?
People in the chat are saying it's not.
That my microphone's not on?
There's no sound.
That's weird.
Could be AI interference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It says my microphone's hot.
Katie Hopkins has a defense against things like that. Cameras, get some spray foam, expanding foam, spray the cameras, spray the how they detect, cover that with spray foam, expands and makes them useless.
Makes what useless? The robots?
The robots,
Yeah.
cameras, whatever,
We're going to have to figure out a way to defeat these things.
that expand foam
Well, they're going to use LiDAR.
for like construction, filling.
They have radar, LiDAR, infrared. Basically, yeah. When I ask these engineers, all the accessories, basically the dog is just a unit, just a robot. You have the operating system that sits on top. That's what I discussed with the IBM engineers. Then you can attach any type of accessory you want to: machine gun, LiDAR, radar, optics, cameras, video cameras, still cameras. You know, your imagination's really your only limitation to what you can add as an attachment and accessory to the RoboDog. But like I said, the children born are going to be completely different. We're not even going to be able to relate to them because they're going to be just on a different level. As we already know, we can't really hardly communicate with Gen Z. They're all dumb as a box of rocks. You talk to them, it's like, Jesus Christ. It's incredible. And this is the dumbing down of society. And they're purposely doing this. They want to keep everybody dumb and stupid so they can control everybody.
You actually think they're going to be able to produce?
To reproduce? I don't know. But I watched a video, I can't even remember who it was, the other day, and they were talking about birth rates. J.J. Carroll. He is, I don't know if he still is, but he was partnered with Ryan Mata, and I discussed this earlier. Ryan made his money in the Bitcoin era. During the last administration with all the human trafficking, he went and started down in Central America and did the whole way up. Along the way, he went to Guatemala, met with the Guatemalan Attorney General. The Guatemalan Attorney General gave him a letter to give to Ken Paxton, the Texas Attorney General, basically stating that children from Guatemala were being human trafficked, but were repeatedly raped of all ages, both genders, from Guatemala all the way into Texas, and would you please stop it? And Ken Paxton ignored that. Ignored it. Just like my affidavit of treason against the state. All that was about illegal immigration, human trafficking, sex, drugs, rock and roll, you name it. They ignored it. They're culpable. They want this to happen. I illustrated earlier what I thought. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. You have my number. You can call me 9 to 9 anytime.
Okay.
If you have questions about the book, whatever, I'll talk to you. Yeah, you're more than welcome.
I see.
It's all about education. Thank you for coming. Where was that?
In Paxton.
Kim Paxton. Oh yeah. Just like with the affidavit of treason, they allowed all this illegal immigration. Now, it is of my opinion, and I'm sure many people will disagree with me on this, that I akin all governments to like a hot rod motor, and most of you grew up at the time when we had classic cars, hot rod motors. And it doesn't matter whether you have a Holly car, Carter, Rochester, whatever name brand you want. You can put a carburetor on there, and if all the parts function, that motor's going to do what it's supposed to do, right? Regardless of what brand name you have on there. It's the same thing with the government. You put Obama, you put Trump, Biden, Clinton, Nixon, all down the line. They're just all seamless. It's the motor humming and running. Sometimes it runs great. Sometimes it runs not so great. But we're going to get where we need to go. And it may not be beneficial to us. So it is my opinion that they allowed, and I don't know who they is, but they allowed the Biden administration to be so horrific that you could have put a remote control up against the Biden and Harris ticket and the remote would have won by default. But they allowed all the illegal immigration. And for those of you who don't know what illegal immigration looks like, I'm from Houston, Texas, Harris County, not far from the border. The high school I graduated with is GC Scarborough High School. It was an all-white middle-class neighborhood. In fact, in 1980, when I graduated, we were busing blacks into the school that were at all black schools because sports was so competitive that they couldn't even play. So they would bus over to our school because we were so small, they could play. They could start on varsity. And if you're not familiar with what 5A is, that was the top tier athletics in the state of Texas. We were in that category. Most of the Hispanics were generational Mexicans that, had migrated back and forth. My family did it. My father was born in Laredo, Texas. His father was born on the reservation in Oklahoma. So what we have accumulated as far as illegal immigration over 4 to 5 decades in Houston, Texas, most people got 4 short years and were just appalled at all this travesty and all this state, county, city money going to support these illegal immigrants. So when I did a demographics of GC Scarborough High School, of what it liked, and I think the latest I could get was like 2013, maybe 2014. So this all-white middle-class high school, subdivisions surrounding it, where you could go look at the band picture because that was the biggest body in the school, and you see all these white faces and, a couple little black dots here and there, but for the majority, mostly white. That school today, well, as of 2013, 2014, is 70% Hispanic, 20% black, 10% other. That's what illegal immigration looks like over decades. Now, when those illegal immigrants got here, we all know they got here as young as possible and they started dropping babies like there's no tomorrow, like they have an unlimited source of money to support these children, okay? Well, they were born in the United States, so birthright citizenship, they're U.S. citizens. So imagine coming over here, 20 years old, boom, you drop some kids 15 years later, so that puts us at the year 2000. So now those children are having children, so we're in the 3rd generation. So that 2nd generation, they're incorporated into our society. So how are we going to find these illegal immigrants to deport them? Because now you have to go into the databases of every county, every state Department of Health and Human Services and search the birth records. They got to search birth certificates. If you've ever dealt with Texas Health and Human Services, which I have, I've been to Austin, been to multiple locations, all the birth certificate process, it's tedious, it's difficult. Tara Doss is the state registrar. She's the one who signs the birth certificates. I went there physically and said, hey, can I have an appointment? Can I go see Tara Doss? No. What do you mean? I'm in the building. She's in the building, right? She's in Austin? Nope, can't see her. Can I make an appointment? No. What? Yeah. Honest to God's truth. So the only way humanly possible to dig through all those databases to find out who is here under birthright citizenship, born to illegal immigrants, came into this country illegally, AI. National security. How are they going to enforce that? So now we know who the people are. Now we got to find the people that this birth certificate goes to that was born of illegal immigrants. Biometrics, facial recognition. It's coming. This is what they're going to do. They're using national security. They're going to use the immigration crisis. They're going after all the big suspects. Exactly. And it's coming to the United States.
Yeah.
And like I said, and I preface this, I don't know if Trump, it's his agenda, his family's agenda, or his advisor's agenda, or if he's compromised and he's being forced to do it. I don't know the answer to that. All I know is this is what I see coming in the future. And it is like Sean Ryan says, it's scary as shit. It's terrifying of what they're going to do. And when you watch Sabrina Wallace's video and see the technology that they've been using for a decade, it's really terrifying.
Yeah.
So what I'm trying to do is just put the surface on here to show all of you exactly what they're doing today, what's available right now. You know, I'm not making any of this up, obviously.
They're doing about the airport too. And idiots are just lining up and letting them take the picture again.
Floyd, the biggest problem in that deal you just talked about, that's the clause I mentioned yesterday that's in the MJ-12 contract. He can't be prosecuted for anything. And that's why even the president called me sir, because literally if one of the 12 or number 13 go in and gives the president an order and he doesn't do it, they could literally kill him on the spot and be immune from prosecution.
MJ contract.
Are all of them still alive?
Oh, the MJ-12 is ongoing. They set themselves up. They set themselves up to be self-perpetuating. Another one takes place.
In the year 2025, we stand on the threshold of a new era, an era in which intelligence is no longer an exclusively human gift. Companies across the globe, from the United States to China, are racing to create artificial minds that will not just assist humans, but exist as autonomous entities capable of thinking, feeling, and acting. At the very heart of this technological revolution is the company NVIDIA. The same NVIDIA that once made graphics cards for gamers is now developing the most powerful artificial intelligence chip for robots, a platform that, according to its developers, is intended to make machines smarter than humans. And this is not science fiction, it has already begun. This new chip bears the codename Project Helios. At its core is the Blackwell architecture, combining incredible computational power with minimal latency and embedded neural network models. It is not just a processor, it is a brain capable of analyzing situations in real time, learning, making decisions, and acting autonomously. NVIDIA is building the foundation for robots that can not only execute commands but think. This chip is intended for a new wave of humanoid robots, industrial automatons, autonomous drones, military platforms, and even home assistants. The learning speed of such systems is astounding. When connected to neural network cluster platforms such as DGX Cloud, the new chip allows a robot to learn in a matter of days what would take a human years to master. The robot does not merely memorize commands, it understands context, adapts to changes, and learns from mistakes. And this is not just theory. In NVIDIA's laboratories, prototypes of androids are already being tested, capable of driving cars, making coffee, conversing, cleaning homes, and even caring for elderly people, with empathy and adaptive behavior. But NVIDIA is not the only player in this field. Startups across China, especially in Shenzhen, are building their own humanoid prototypes using these chips: robot waiters, robot secretaries, robot police officers. The government is actively investing in the creation of a full-fledged robot society that will work, patrol the streets, and even teach children. In South Korea, Japan, and Germany, ultra-intelligent systems capable of collective decision-making are being developed. Robots connected in a network can jointly solve complex problems, distribute roles, and adapt to conditions. These are no longer individual machines, but digital collectives with the intelligence level of a team of specialists. Such systems are being tested in manufacturing, warehouses, logistics, and even in healthcare. And we are already witnessing how artificial intelligence in robots is beginning to change our daily lives. For example, in Japanese hospitals, nurse robots monitor patient conditions, regulate room climate, deliver medications, and can even perform basic diagnostics. At Tesla and BMW factories, robots independently manage production lines, detect malfunctions, and eliminate them without human involvement. In supermarkets across the United States, assistant robots patrol aisles, maintain order, assist customers, and even perform real-time demand analysis. Devices of a new generation are already appearing in homes, from vacuum cleaners that build three-dimensional maps of the space and plan cleaning based on the resident's lifestyle, to home assistants that can read fairy tales to children, care for pets, and remind elderly people to take their medication. And all this is possible thanks to embedded artificial intelligence chips that allow the device not just to function, but to think. But what does this mean for us, as humans? On one hand, it is a revolution. Intelligent robots can free humanity from routine and dangerous work. They can save lives by providing assistance in emergencies, extinguishing fires, conducting search operations, and performing surgeries with a precision beyond human capability. But this coin has a dark side. As robot intelligence grows, one pressing question arises. Where is the line between machine and consciousness? If an artificial intelligence chip can make better decisions than a human, who will be held responsible for those decisions? Who will control the actions of an autonomous army of robots if it begins to act independently? And what if these machines decide that humans are the source of chaos and instability? Moreover, the introduction of intelligent robots poses a colossal threat to the labor market. Even today, robots are displacing workers in warehouses, banks, and call centers. Tomorrow they might take the place of programmers, lawyers, even doctors. Millions of people could be left without jobs unless a global retraining program is implemented. There is also the threat of control. In some countries, artificial intelligence robots are already being used for total surveillance. Cameras with artificial facial recognition, patrol robots in cities that scan citizens, analyze their behavior, and eavesdrop on conversations. All this can turn into a digital concentration camp, where a person is stripped of privacy and every action is judged by an algorithm. Nevertheless, humanity has no intention of stopping. NVIDIA has already announced that their next chip will feature quantum integration, enabling real-time artificial intelligence learning with multi-dimensional logic. Chinese corporations are working on a symbiosis of biological tissue and machines, cyborgs based on living neurons. And all this is expected within a 10-year horizon. Robots are becoming our companions, our workers, our conversational partners, and perhaps in the future, our friends or our enemies. The only question is whether we can build mutual trust with them. Or whether we, as a species, will be replaced by a more efficient and impartial intelligence, one we created with our own hands. Everything we are witnessing today is only the beginning. Intelligent robots are still learning to walk, to speak, to feel. But very soon, they will begin to participate in the governance of cities, the economy, the military. They will fight for us, build our homes, cure diseases, but at the same time, they will become a mirror of our own intelligence, our decisions, our fears. The new chip from NVIDIA may become the spark that triggers a chain reaction, and we will no longer be able to stop it. But perhaps that is the very essence of progress, to move forward, to take risks, to change everything, and to believe that intelligence, even artificial, will serve the good. One way or another, the era of intelligent machines has begun, and it will never end. Even today, major corporations are testing fully automated factories. In China, such facilities are called dark factories because there is not a single light on inside. There are only robots and no people. The control systems are artificial intelligence clusters powered by chips like those developed by NVIDIA. These systems have no vulnerability to fatigue, perceptual errors, or emotional burnout. They simply work, quickly, precisely, and without interruption. This leads to what is being called a reality divide. While one part of the world continues to operate under the traditional model of human work money, another part, connected to an artificial intelligence robotic infrastructure, will advance far beyond it. And people who are not integrated into this system will find themselves excluded from the new economy. The scenarios for the future
with what do they call that, remote viewing,
Yeah,
and they're,
And that means that.
communicating with them. And
communicating, who's them?
The Galactics,
And I think it's gonna take every state on it.
Supposedly.
But I watched a girl from Canada, her channel's Elizabeth April,
Uh-huh.
and she went into Antarctica, and she basically was seeing all this stuff, and she went to the Galactics and said, what the heck?
Right.
You know, are you gonna allow this?
Uh-huh.
Because you've already gone through it. We're here, you know, and we gotta figure out a way to survive this.
Yeah, absolutely.
But then you gotta pay, there's a paywall, so you gotta watch, pay to watch the part 2,
Yeah, I'll probably go broke doing this, go bankrupt.
No, I don't do paywall, but
Right.
she's called Elizabeth April, she's in Canada.
Some of you follow the RV, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so do y'all know who Mike Barra and Gentel is?
Gentle, yeah.
Jennifer,
Plano.
yeah, okay. Allegedly, she talks to St. Michael, right?
Right.
Okay. Well, I have a viewer. She lives in Cypress, Texas. I'm not going to name her name. But she consistently sends me this information. Benjamin Fulford, Nassar Jassara, RFK or JFK Jr., from all these different telegrams and different other sources that have all that information in it. So when she told me that, hey, Floyd, next week, you're not going to worry about a thing. I'm like, I'm not. Yeah. St. Michael told Jennifer that the RV's happening Tuesday.
Yeah, I know. Well, I've been following her, yeah.
And I'm like, I asked the
Because
question,
they keep,
are you sure she's not hearing voices in her head? No, she's actually talking to St. Michael. I said, okay. So this woman, her air conditioner has been out in June. So she went all the way into July without an air conditioner in Houston, Texas, waiting on the RV. Yeah. And when I hear stuff like that, I have to question it because I don't see the reality. I've had so much disinformation, misinformation that, yeah, the galactics and those, Supreme Council or whatever it looks like. Stop. I don't see it. I live in reality, fact-based.
but according to Jennifer Flaw, that they're being held up. And every time she gives when they give her a prediction, they say, unless it's being blocked or whatever. And evidently they keep blocking it.
They keep blaming it on Trump.
Yeah.
Trump's holding it up.
For 15 years.
Yeah.
Every day it's gonna happen tomorrow. It's gonna happen
So,
tomorrow.
Right.
I tuned all those people out. I don't listen to none of them.
I take it with a grain of salt.
2 weeks.
I always say we're gonna get our money off our birth certificate too. There's a maximum law that says that which one creates, one controls, so you're gonna be controlled even if you get the money. They're gonna take you out.
What they plan, see, is that's gonna happen tomorrow, but guess what? When tomorrow comes, it's no longer tomorrow, it's today.
Tomorrow never dies.
Even if you got the money, you'd be killed within a week. You'd be killed.
So-
Or you're gonna take the vaccine or the chip to get it.
Right.
And they had the chip back in the 70s. With less than a mosquito bite, they could put it in your neck and it could tell them absolutely everything about you, what you're doing, where you are, everything. Locate you, everything.
I kind of think Jared Kushner's the Antichrist.
Jared Kushner.
That's in my,
I don't know who.
Jared Kushner? Trump's son-in-law?
Oh, okay.
I mean, his business is 666 Fifth Street.
Right.
Why would you want your business making chips for people?
Yeah.
All right. This is Stanford University.
I'm not taking it.
Stanford University. Stanford Medicine. This is from July 29th, 2025, very recently. Researchers create virtual scientists to solve complex biological problems. Stanford Medicine. Researchers created a team of virtual scientists backed by artificial intelligence to help solve problems in their real-world lab. So basically, they're creating labs of artificial intelligence, and the artificial intelligence is the scientists. So as I said, we're surrendering our humanity for convenience. And it comes in incremental steps. And it is so slow and incremental that over the long haul, we just, it's like looking at yourself at 18, looking at yourself at 80. You don't see yourself age, but that's what we're doing. And that's what they're leading us to. So all these, of course, MIT, Stanford, Rice University, University of Houston, that's where they discovered buckyballs. So these colleges, back in 1999, I was Senior Executive Vice President of Development for the Signature Development Corporation. And in that role, I was required to locate and find certain things that actually everything. But in that, we were purchasing 25,000 acres, and the CEO wanted to establish some type of security perimeter where we didn't have to man it with people. So I found this smart fence. This is 1999, okay? A smart fence. It was produced by the Penn State University Department of Defense Naval Research Laboratory. So what does Floyd do? I called him. And we had a nice long conversation. I got off the record stuff. And this is some of the stuff they were doing in 1999. They had the technology then to use a microphone to where a governmental vehicle or military vehicle could pull up to a gate, whatever, and by the signature of the exhaust, it would know that this vehicle should pass. Yeah. So the smart fence technology basically was just like the regular cyclone chain link fences you see everywhere. And then at the top, it had this tension wire around it. The tension wire was hooked up to a computer that would be able to detect vibrations. So they calibrated it with, a known 20-pound dog, a known 200-pound human. And they programmed the algorithms in it, which would be the gait, the weight, frequency of the vibrations, and that's how they calibrated it. So they would know if it was a human approaching the fence, an animal, dog, cat, something of substantial weight by the vibration in that tension wire. So the technology that they're using and that they have, we don't even know about it. And it's incredible. And that was 1999. And in doing that, I'll tell you what I invented and never got to do it because I went to prison. Tablet menus, where you go into a restaurant and you just pick up a tablet instead of a menu. And if you want to see all the ingredients of the lasagna and you want to see all the nutritional value, just like an app. You don't need a waitress. You don't need a waiter. You don't need a busboy. You just everything in the app.
They're kind of doing that now.
They are now, and it's 25 years later.
Yeah.
But I had invented that in 1999, and I invented it for the corporation because we were building this just over the frickin' top place. I mean, it was going to be the world's largest golf and tennis resort with a city built on Italian architecture with Italy built gondolas to go around this moat of these 4 5-star hotels that were all designer hotels. One would be the Armani Hotel, the Ralph Lauren Hotel, Calvin Klein Hotel, et cetera, et cetera. So it's just this huge, everything he sent me to, here, go find 50,000 6 to 8 inch oak trees. What? Go find me 1 million square feet of travertine. At the time, I had no idea what travertine was. So I called my stone guy. I say, hey, I need 1 million square feet of travertine. Oh, you're going to have to buy a mine. What? I don't know anything about buying a mine. If you bought every harvested travertine in the world, you would not have 1 million square feet. I'm like, oh, so we got to go buy. Where do I go to buy a travertine? Well, I'll take you. There's a couple of places we can go. I'm like, boy, this shit's crazy. So I called some tree farms. I need, 50,000 6 to 8 inch oak trees. Can't help you. Well, where would I go? You're not going to get it. If you bought every oak tree in the United States of America, you wouldn't even come close to having that many. And that's all the tasks that he gave me that were just so grandiose. I was like, God, dude, you're asking the impossible. So in that role, I learned a lot and talked to a lot of different people. And that helped me today to, pick up the phone and call them, find out who they are. So that's how I base my information. It's not like I'm just reading this stuff on the internet or taking everybody's word for granted. I like to go to the source and talk to these people in person. It's like David Nino Rodriguez. Okay. I've been trying to get a hold of that guy for a hot minute. I sent him my treason for affidavit of treason against the state. He didn't reply. So through a new mutual third party, I can now call David Nino Rodriguez anytime I want, but I don't. He's a very busy man. But But there's a lot of that going on. Just like when I came up here for the event, the El Magador jacket signing, I wanted to integrate myself in the community, meet the movers and shakers, met Wano Saban right there. Mel was sitting there, I was sitting there. Right here in this room, and I heard the most crazy, outlandish stories. Marilyn Monroe's still alive, folks, according to everything I heard there. I heard some wild stories. And that's a funny story in of itself. God, I forgot all about that. Press for time. When I came in, they were assigning numbers to people who would see 107. My number was 48. And I didn't even pay attention to it because I didn't even want to talk to Juan. I didn't even really want to meet him. Somebody asked me to ask him a question because they knew I was coming. So at 3:45 in the morning, Sunday morning, from the Saturday event, me and Mama Mel are over there kicking it. We come over here and we sit down. Everybody's gone except Doug, Kiki, Chris Eriks, a.k.a. Baby Trump, me, Mel, and Juan. So I asked my question first, get it out of the way. Boom, I got my answer. Mel went and so we walked out of here at 4:30 a.m. Sunday morning, had to be back here again at 1. So when I walked in the door, there was a tall bar stool over here. And I went and sat over there because Juan was here. I could watch Juan. I could watch Chris over here. I could see Doug at the bar. I could see who's coming in. And this guy walked up to me. He goes, check this out. And he starts doing gematria. So I sat there for about an hour and I'm thinking, is there a point to this? Is he going somewhere? Because, it doesn't seem like there's an end coming. And I'm like, man, I really got to pee. So I'm going to give this guy another 30 minutes or so. So I'll go pee. So I'm sitting there, just like really paying attention because I'm trying to see if I should stay, if there's a point to this. So about 30 minutes into it, okay, kind of take a breather. And I'm surrounded by women sitting in chairs. They all just like pull up a chair. And the whole time he's talking to me, he's brushing people off. He doesn't want to hear anything from anybody. He's just giving me this one-on-one tutorial on gematria for hours. I got a 4-hour personal one-to-one tutorial with negative 48.
Oh,
Had no idea who he was. So I got that, and I was like, okay, wow. And then I found out who he was, and eventually we went back to that back bench back there and sat and kicked it, and I met his assistant. I don't remember her name now, and didn't think anything of it. So that night or that morning, when we went back to the hotel, it's 4:30 in the morning. By the time I got back, it's 5. I'm like, I gotta get back over there again. I'm emptying out my pockets. And this little orange piece of paper fell out. That's the number that they gave me. I'm like, oh, I didn't even use that. And it's been over, so I can't see the whole number. I just opened it up and glanced at it. Guess what number it was?
48.
Exactly. So the following day when I came back, we sat back on that back bench, and I don't remember the guy's name, but he took a picture of me and negative 48 together with me holding up the 48. I don't know if y'all believe in coincidences or serendipity or whatever it was, but that's what happened. Nobody here knew who the hell I was. They didn't know. Sure, none of them even heard of Fearless Floyd or Floyd. So it was that was a really unique experience. And he sat back there and he told me just this crazy, insane stuff, just like for hours. And I was just like, okay.
What did you say it was called? What was his name for that?
Negative 48.
Negative 48, Michael Propsman. Yeah. And of course, when I came here, everybody's like, oh, Wano Saban's a fake. He's a man in a fat suit and blah, blah, this, blah, blah, that. So let me clarify here for you, okay? Because when the community that I was in at the time, they're all hitting me up, texting me, emailing me, he's a fake, he's a fraud, he's in a fat suit, blah, blah, this, blah, blah, that. And then they all hit me up about -48. He's a womanizer. He takes all these women and he goes and have sex with them. And I'm like, okay, I'll keep my eye on him tomorrow. Yeah. So
No saints in the gym.
Well, he was supposed to be JFK Jr. too, in a fake suit,
Or his brother.
right.
Oh,
So when I sat in front of
yeah.
the next day, I see Juan. Okay, Juan sat here, cowboy boots, blue jean, belt buckle, long sleeve shirt, El Magador jacket, cowboy hat, sitting in this room just like we are right now. For I don't know what time the event started. I think like 1 o'clock. We went till 4:30 the next morning.
Wow.
He sat here and talked to everybody here.
Wow.
Everybody. Like I said, I was second to last. Mel was last. Yeah. Never broke a sweat. Did multiple interviews with Nino Rodriguez on the other side
Oh, okay.
while this was going on. He'd take a break. He'd go over there and, oh, Nino, blah, 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 blah. And he's walking around, showing the gallery like he does. He never shows his face. Is it a man in a fat suit? Hell no. Absolutely freaking not. Was -48 a womanizer? Absolutely not. I never saw him hit on a woman. And there were tons of them here. He could have easily took back to that bathroom, knocked him out, and come out here. Because I've seen it happen. No, literally. Because when Tommy Morrison won the World Heavyweight Championship and Rocky had just come out, unknowing to me, I was friends with his business partner and best friend. And I got invited. Well, we were going to South Padre for spring break anyway. I get there and I go to John's condo, knock on the door. Tommy Morrison answers the door. I'm like, are we at the right condo? Is John here? Yeah, come on in. I'm like, holy fuck. It's Tommy Morrison. What the hell? So when we went out later that night, it was like Entourage. Everywhere we went, man, I mean, women were just surrounding us. And of course, I had my little harem with me, so I didn't participate in any of that. But when we went all these after-hour parties in these hotel rooms and wherever, just like I said, to the restroom, knocking them out one after another. So when he got HIV, to me, it was like, okay, no surprise there, I can see how he could potentially have caught that. So I've been around those kind of people. I've been around that. And it's really interesting to be able to do that. So I told everybody, I didn't see that. Absolutely not. Is Juan the real deal? I have no clue. But he's not a man in a fat suit. He is a real person. He's overweight, gregarious, has that hoarse voice. So
Oh, you're married now.
I have no idea. Yeah, I don't keep up with him. But back to AI. So yeah, I had fun doing that. This one. Y'all ready for this one? We're fixing to take a ride. Y'all see what that says?
Surveillance for now.
National Wastewater Surveillance System. Wastewater, sewage can be tested to detect traces of infection diseases circulating in a community, even if people don't have symptoms. You can use these data as an early warning that levels of infections may be increasing or decreasing in your community. This is how it works. You're over here in your sink, wash your hands, go to the toilet, goes through the sewer system, boom, they capture it, run it through their process, and test it. Nationally, wastewater viral activity levels for COVID-19, and this is from July 27th, 2025 to August 2nd, 2025. How it works. There's the layout. You can all go to the cdc.gov website. Look at this for yourself. And as I was talking about Rice University, this is from April 7th, 2025. Rice researchers partnering with Houston Health Department on wastewater surveillance to stay ahead of the measles outbreak. Y'all remember that, right? Well, here they are. And this is what they're doing. And those are the people involved. They're running this program with Houston Wastewater Epidemiology Team. And Alexandra Becker, I have contacted her for an interview and she declined. This is on Stardust, microscale implants inside the brain to cure Parkinson's disease, which I've already covered. Organoid brain computers, organoid intelligence. Organoid brain computers. A new field known as organoid intelligence, OI, is emerging, aiming to develop biological computing systems using 3D cultures of human brain cells, specifically brain organoids, interfaced with computers and machine learning technologies. What could possibly go wrong with that? This approach leverages the self-assembled complex neural networks of brain organoids, which can contain myelinated axons and exhibit spontaneous electrophysiological activity and complex oscillatory behavior, making them superior to traditional 2D cell cultures, whatever those are, for computational purposes. The core of this system is the brain organoid, which performs computation with its learning potential enhanced by optimized cultural conditions and the integration of microfluidic systems for scalability and durability. Microfluidic. What are we made of? Water. Fluids. So there you go. There's more if you want to go read it. This is DARPA. I don't know if there's a date on this, but 6 paths to non-surgical future of brain-machine interfaces. May 19th. Oops. I don't know why this is kind of wonky. Team selected for DARPA's next generation non-surgical neurotechnology program will pursue a mix of approaches to developing wearable interfaces for communicating with the brain. That's May 20th, 2019. According to Sabrina Wallace, all these devices like Fitbits and things like that, they're actually looking into your bloodstream. That's how deep they go. But they're telling you they're just, keeping up with your biostatistics, right? And over the past 18 years, DARPA has demonstrated increasingly sophisticated neurotechnologies, which I've already covered. This is Trump's $90 billion influx into Pennsylvania for AI. Trump unveils $90 billion in energy and AI investments for Pennsylvania during summit in Pittsburgh. This is from July 15th, 2025. President Trump and many leaders in the country's largest technology and energy companies announced more than $90 billion in new investments from private companies for Pennsylvania on Tuesday. And this is going to happen across the country in almost every state. The reason, because these data centers require so much energy.
And water.
And water, yeah, absolutely. And very, very cold temperatures. Because what they're doing is they're creating a circuit board on the Earth. So when you look at the Stargate AI project from above at a eagle's eye view, it looks like a circuit board. I had the video pulled up. I wish I could get to it, but I lost all those. I had a video of a iPhone circuit board, and the person, I don't know what kind of microscope he had, but he put a human hair on it. And looking at it, he passed up the hair, which we know the width of a hair, and kept going and going and going and going and going and going. And he went like 30 levels to this chip that we don't have technology to make. And that's in an iPhone. And when you see this video, you're like, oh my God. I also had videos on synthetics, clones, where they did like if you go to a conference or like a boat show and they're showing all the boats, you go to a little booth and they're doing their little pitch, that kind of thing, where they have a catalog and you just going through it, picking out which synthetic you want to be in, which they call them sleeves. And they're humans that are created without a conscience in this little like soft egg incubating, and you get to pick out anybody you want. Upload your conscious and download your conscious into this new body. If you want to be a black male, you're going to be a black male this time. If you want to be blonde, blue-eyed, knockout, that's what you're going to be.
Has it worked?
Allegedly, they're doing this.
No, has anybody come back with the same conscious?
I don't know. Actually, Noel will be attending an event in October, the Super Soldier Activation Conference. That's James Rinks. If you're not familiar with super soldiers, it's similar to that effect where they take people, they enhance them to become a super soldier, they send them off planet, they battle all these crazy aliens. Like I warned Noel, he's going to hear some just insane stuff. Whether it's true or not, I don't know. But obviously they believe that that's the truth. But if they get too damaged, their conscious is uploaded and downloaded into another body and they're sent off to battle, or they're retired and their memory is wiped. And these people apparently are having regressive memories and remember bits and parts of being some super soldier. They think they're hallucinations or memories or nightmares even, or dreams. But once they've all got together, their stories seem to be similar. Some of them like, oh yeah, I remember you, your name was, they all have different names than what they have on Earth. Mm-hmm. So it's the same process. How long this stuff has been in effect, I have no idea.
There's a very intriguing story that goes with that, which is 20 and back, because you sign a contract and they actually bring you back to
the year they took you.
Just after, like a minute after.
Right. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
And you get full pay or whatever if you sign a contract, but they also have a different way of doing it, where if you had done something wrong, that they actually do it and they don't pay you or anything, and then you're like a slave for those 20 years.
Yeah, exactly.
I started playing with some of that when Well, in battles, I found a lot of times, I mean, you know, one guy sit there, his buddy is injured, and the guy lifts like a boulder or a car by himself.
Right.
And they found out you can actually basically supercharge the brain almost to the mind over matter type of a thing, where we can do way more than what we think we can do.
Right,
And the brain then basically supercharges your whole body.
because we're in a matrix and they have a way to get around
Yeah.
that.
And I actually did something like that. I was up at, it was Allegheny Mines in the Sierra Nevada range. And these guys had to get an ore car, which is a steel ore car, very heavy, right? And they said, hey, Noah, we need your help. And I didn't even think about it at the time. I got on and I said, okay, we're gonna go 1, 2, 3. And on 3, you guys, everybody lift at the same time. And so they did. And it was like, I clicked, and I mean, that thing, the ore car went clear over to the other side. And they looked at me like, oh, man, I ain't gonna mess with you. How'd you do that? I said, sorry, guys, I didn't mean to. Let's do it from the other side. I said, as soon as he gets to the top, I'll back off. And we did, and it basically flew up, and then I backed off, and they automatically, boom, it dropped in the slot.
Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah, and I mean,
Wow.
and that ore, it was a solid steel ore car. You're talking pretty much a ton.
Well, maybe you're a super soldier and you don't remember.
Oh no, well, they worked on my memory and a lot of stuff, but I wasn't a super soldier. But I was involved with a lot of that stuff. I was more the intel part and the leader part, and the part they wanted to use for the brain, and as far as guidance and stuff like that, But when I found out a lot of the stuff going on, some of the stuff they did, I backed out and I said, no way.
All right. So if you like the idea of a organoid brain computer, you can rent one.
Yeah.
Biocomputers made of human brain cells now available for rent. This is from August 25th, 2024. Priced at $500 per month. These organoids can last up to 100 days and are currently being used by select universities to advance AI research and explore new training methods. You can go into this more if you want. The company is called Final Spark, a Swiss technology firm.
That seems inexpensive. $500.
The way it works is that specific brain The way it works is that specific brain cells are programmed genetically so that they express light-sensitive switches with which the cells can be turned on and off. So by shining a flash of light on a whole brain, you can control particular parts of it, and in this way discover the electrical impulses that normally underlie all of our mental lives.
So, 11 million televisions. Let's do some math. Basic, simple math. 11 million televisions Vizio sold. Did a class action. State of New Jersey brought the charges along with the FTC. They eventually settled for $2.2 million to the FTC, and they paid, I think, $2 million to Jersey. $4.2 million. So they took 11 million subscribers' information, and on a monthly basis, they sold it for $5 to $35 per customer. Basic, if you just do the math, at $5 times 11 million is $55 million per month. How long they've been doing it? Who the hell knows? Up to $35 per customer or purchaser of their television sets. So obviously they said, oh, we're going to stop, or we're going to put some kind of button you can toggle out of that, doesn't do it. But every time you turn your television off, it resets. So business model, we're going to spy on 11 million people, and we're going to continue to do it. And all we have to do is pay $4.2 million to do it. And we're going to make $55 million a month. Fuck yeah, let's do that.
Is it just data, or do they have cameras? Okay.
Your television is actually two-way. We used to say if you can go downstream, you can go upstream. Radio, television, all
Did I not
two-way.
say that's the best smart device or best spy device in your house?
Yeah.
Is your smart television and the microphone remote that goes with it. Because most people, the remote's in your bed with you, it's on your lap, or it's on your nightstand, and you're whispering all the pillow talk to your spouse, or you're having wild snot slinging sex, all documented,
No TVs involved.
all going into a database somewhere. Is somebody actually going, oh, wow, look at Ethel and George have wild snot slinging sex? No, nobody's doing that. But it's going into a database. Absolutely.
That they can pull up later?
Pardon me?
That they can pull up later?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. This is what's happening. So I wanted to show you this, and this isn't just isolated with Vizio. Here is Siri settlement.
What was that settlement on?
The controversy traces back to July 2019 when a whistleblower revealed that Siri was frequently activated unintentionally, leading to the recording of private conversations. These recordings were subsequently reviewed by Apple contractors for quality control purposes. The Guardian reported that such inadvertent activations captured sensitive information, including confidential medical discussions, private business dealings, and more intimate personal moments. Whistleblower noted that accidental triggers were common, with sounds as innocuous as a zipper being misinterpreted as, hey Siri, wait phrase. I can't make this stuff up. I wish I could. I wish I was that good. There's that one. Here's another one on Fubu. Fubu is owned by Disney. Fubu violated a federal video policy, Privacy Protection Act by sharing user data with third parties like Facebook and Google, according to the lawsuit. And I have another one right behind it. Americans in line to get a share of 3.4 million in privacy settlement, no proof needed to get cash July 10th, 2025. So, yeah, Fubu, go get your money.
$5, probably $5 or something.
Sure, yeah. Lawyers make all the money.
Yeah.
You're right, it's probably $5.
I have Trump's executive orders up here. We're kind of running short on time because they close at 5. I want to make sure Doug and Kiki get out of here. We'll have an awesome day. Here is Chinese hospital now uses a blood drawing robot that hits veins with 94% sniper precision.
I don't have it as permission.
Here's the Xfinity detect movement in your home with Wi-Fi motion, smart home. With the rise of smart home technology, Wi-Fi networks are getting smarter and more effective than ever. One of the latest advancements, Wi-Fi motion detection, provides additional peace of mind by sensing and notifying you of movement throughout your home. Not only is it just tracking movement, it's actually giving a image. So whenever you hear this stuff, it's a lot more than what they're actually putting out in the public. So
Yeah.
please be aware of all this stuff. What else did I have up here for you guys? I think that's about it here. There's some other stuff, but most part, that's about it with that. And Trump.
Sorry, Peter.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
We need question time anyway.
Yes, we do, and I'm more than happy to do that. And yeah, taking questions. What you got? You can ask me anything. If you want to ask me about trusts, I'll answer that. If you want to ask me about AI,
That is why I came.
yeah, we can talk about that. Again, you have my cell phone number. You can call me anytime from 9 to 9. And I'll talk to anybody at any time. If I don't answer my phone, you get my voicemail. Don't leave me a voicemail. Just text me and say, please call me at your earliest convenience. That means I'm doing a live or I'm at work or something. I'm just unavailable.
You have videos online on YouTube of the trust presentations? Is that
I do. I think
Yes, he does.
Tuesday is part 19 of a 20-part series. I re-edited a 19-part series that was originally supposed to be 24 parts that Ann LaFleur and I did on trusts that eventually became the Revocable Living Trust class, All About Deeds class. The next one was mortgage and foreclosures and fraud and all that stuff. The next one was irrevocable trust class. Then we did the foreign trust class and the private membership association class. All of them are knockouts. David Lester Strait sells his PMA class, I think, for $2,000, $2,500, $79. Can't beat it. It's very, very dense in that information. And then eventually that led into the books. So that's the evolution.
Which are exceptional. Thank you very much.
Oh, don't thank me. Thank Ann. She did all that and did a remarkable job. Do you have the books?
I have the electronic version. I bought
The ebook, which on trust or specialty trusts?
on trusts.
On trust? Okay. All of you have my email, right?
yeah.
If you don't, get my card. It's on my card. If you guys will email me because you're here and you stay till the end, I will send even you an email or an ebook for both books, on trust and specialty trust books. So you will have over 30 different trusts, every form you're ever going to need to operate in trust. So thank you for being here. I really appreciate that.
Thank you.
You're more than welcome. Look, I'm not here for the money. It's never been about money. It's all been about educating as many people as I can with things that I learned that I think are important, not to myself, not to my family,